welcome to the very first Sunday Shoutout, the day where you, the wonderful Finn fam, get a chance to send me in your questions and have me answer them on absolutely anything you wish. And it's also the day I give a shout out to those whose voice is not usually heard and I think have something wonderful to say. So today we're going to talk beards. I get a lot of questions about beards. How do you grow a beard? Why can't I grow a beard? How can I grow a beard quicker? Where's my beard? All about the beard. I also had a really great question from Skylar Wills, concerning why I grow a beard. And Skylar asks, Finn, I was just wondering, could you do a video about trans guys and facial hair? For example, is the reason for growing a beard because of anxiety that if you shaved it, you might not pass? I can only really speak for me, but personally, I just want a beard. I've always loved the look of beards, and we're really lucky that beards are in fashion. I mean, whether they were or not, I'd still be sporting a beard because I've waited 42 years for a beard. I'm going to enjoy it. But beards are really in fashion at the moment, so yeah, that's why I'm wearing one, because I can be fashionable for the first time in my life, and I love it. I love having a beard. It is the kind of typical male achievement, isn't it? That you see a beard and think, wow, that's what I want, that's man. And I guess that's a lot to do with it. You do see a lot of trans guys with beards, and I guess, and from the guys I've talked to, it's for the same reason as me, just because you can grow one. But of course there is the element that it does help to be read and gendered correctly, of course, because if you have this much facial hair, you're usually a man in terms of how society sees it anyway. So yeah, I can't speak for everybody else, but me and for the trans guys I've spoken to, it's just really nice to have a beard, and yes, it does absolutely say, I'm definitely a man, no question here. In terms of growing a beard, there's not much you can do except wait. It's just the same as with cisgendered guys, non-trans guys, in that some guys can grow beards, some guys can't. It's just genetics, there's nothing you can do, and if you've got those kind of genetics where you just don't grow facial hair, or don't grow much facial hair, or grow very light facial hair, there's not much you can do, really. However, some people have luck dyeing it. I have a friend who's got a very light beard, but when he uses beard dye on it, it looks really amazing. It doesn't look false or anything, it just brings out the natural beard, and it looks really full and lovely, and I highly recommend that. If you've got enough facial hair, but it's just not showing because it's light, then try some beard dye. A really common myth is, if you shave your face, you'll encourage your hair to grow. I'm afraid I'm going to have to dispel that myth right now. It just doesn't encourage hair growth at all. What happens is, when you shave a hair has a really fine tip, and when you shave, you blunt that tip off so that it looks thicker, but actually it really isn't. Saying that though, in early days when I couldn't grow much of a beard, I would use my beard trimmer to just trim it down so that I still had the appearance of stubble. So that does help a little bit, but really there's not much you can do to encourage it to grow other than wait. The type of testosterone does not make a difference whatsoever. It is just purely down to genetics and time. It took a long time for this to all fill in. I had a little tiny chin beard when I first came out. I called it my Friar Tuck beard, and then I kind of had a little bit under here, and then for a couple of years I just had this tiny little bit that was a bit like a minion. And it's been over the last year, really, that it's all properly filled in. In fact, I posted one of these time hop pictures today of a year ago, and it's surprising just how much my facial hair has changed in a year, because back then it was only there. I'll put the picture here for you to have a look at. My tash still won't do anything. It's just staying here. It's not growing any longer. It's getting a little bit darker, and it's getting the odd thicker ones, but it seems to be taking ages to catch up. In terms of beard care, I use one of these, a beard trimmer. My main reason for that is I like quite a short beard, but because this tash isn't really coming in, I feel a bit still like the minion if I just have beard and not tash. So I use one of these beard trimmers, and this is great because it has a dial on the back, so you can actually see which number you're using. And I currently use a number 6 on this, and just go all the way over my beard like that, and then it's neat, and it's still full enough, but it's not that different from the tash, if that makes sense. I also really quite like to have a beard line here. I get quite itchy on my neck if I've got too much beard, so I just use this again, just taking the guard off, and I just go underneath, and I just find a kind of line. I usually kind of find the line where my neck sits parallel. Does that make sense? you know, like there, so stop there. So I can kind of work that out by kind of pulling the skin taut and doing that. So that's how I trim my beard. I do love this thing, it's absolutely great. I am turning into a werewolf, so I end up getting hairs up here, which is quite strange. So for that, I bought this, which is like a little edge trimmer. This is not the best of edge trimmers. It was only about 15 quid, I think, for this, but it's enough just to kind of work around these edges and take the stray ones off that are up there. I do occasionally use a wet shave to get rid of some of these, but I do seem to react badly to wet shaving these days. I think my skin has got a lot more pores and reacts to it, so this is enough. It just takes off the edges, you know. The good thing about this is it also comes with this rather nifty eyebrow trimmer, which is just fantastic for us, like, silver people whose eyebrows are kind of like deciding to go all sorts of directions. You just like skim it over your eyebrows and it just trims down them a bit. It's quite lovely. One of the nicest things I've just discovered is beard balm. Now, I just thought, what's the point in this stuff, really? But it's lovely, it's really nice. It's this that I'm using. It's called Honest Amish Beard Balm. Now, it smells delicious. Have a smell of that. Oh, I wish there was smell-o-vision. It's like cinnamon. It's like a bit like Christmas. Oh, I'm getting very camp, but this is the smell of it. This is what smelling does to me. It's like cinnamony and foresty and really nice. It's quite expensive, but it's lasting me ages. You use the tiniest, teeniest bits of it, and you just kind of like gently work it into your beard. And what it does is it softens the beard, and it makes your face smell delightful. It just softens it nicely, and it just gives it a kind of a bit of a nice sheen to it. It just looks really soft and healthy and conditioned. It's really, really nice. But what I've really noticed is it's stopping a lot of the ingrowing hairs, because some of my hairs are quite coarse. I do find I get quite awful spots sometimes from it, and that seems to be stopping a lot of the ingrowing hairs, which is quite nice. So I think that's all I've got to say on beards, I think. I hope I've answered questions that have been thrown at me there. If not, ask me some more and I'll do something else. Now this Sunday's shout out goes to this fantastic person here. This is Sky. Now, Sky has commented on my YouTube videos quite a lot, and so I went out and had a look at their videos, and oh my word, their Transgender Day of Visibility video was just so powerful. They've got an incredibly different narrative that really, really needs to be heard, and I think this is why it was so important to me to do this Sunday shout out, because I think hearing voices from across the spectrum that are so very different, that don't usually get heard or represented, is so important. So please do pop over to Sky's channel, have a look, watch the Transgender Day of Visibility video that they made, because it is just incredible. Really amazing stuff, powerful stuff to say. So yes, that's my Sunday shout out. Thank you for letting me share that, Sky. You are awesome, and I see you. Okay, first Sunday shout out done. I have lots of questions still on the list that you've been sending in, but please do keep sending them. You can drop them down into the comments below. You can send them on any of the social media links. Don't forget to subscribe for regular updates. Drop me a message, drop me a comment, chat to me, because I like that a lot. Take care, everybody. Love you, bye.